once great 2UE newsroom that led the pack for such a long, long time is now no more.
The courtroom was hushed and the atmosphere electric as the foreman announced the jury's decision. Lindy Chamberlain, guilty of murder. Michael Chamberlain, guilty of being an accessory after the fact.
There are 15, 20 jobs that are no longer there for youngsters who are coming up through the industry.
In the days before you went to the Mitchell College to learn journalism, this was where you learnt it. You learnt it from the likes of Sean Flannery, from the likes of Vincent Smith and Mike Carlton at the bar of the Rag and Famish.
Will this put an end to the innuendo and speculation that has surrounded the case since Azaria disappeared in August 1980? In Darwin, this is Sean Flannery.
To see it go in such a sad, sad way, what can you say? It's just tragic.
2UE 954 News.
The iconic 2UE microphone has appeared at historic events spanning the better part of the last century. 2UE has covered every significant news event over the past 90 years with some of the best journalists in the country. Future 2UE news bulletins will now be broadcast from Pyrmont. Robert Spicer, 2UE's Greenwich studio, Sydney.
It felt very much like, as Horace Walpole once said, life to those people who think is a comedy and to those people who feel is a tragedy. And it was sort of both.
And I sound like an old fart, but it's true. The camaraderie was everything. You'd get your ass kicked one week on Monday by the guy from the other station or the girl. Next day it'll be your turn, you kick their ass. That's gone now.
I'm really pleased that tonight we have 3 finalists that came from 2GB and 2UE. The finalists are Natalie Peters from 2GB, Amelia Burney from 2UE, and Michelle Tavaniti from 2UE. And the winner is Natalie Peters from 2GB.
It's the Kennedy Awards trifecta for Natalie Peters. Her reporting of the Gallipoli centenary was comprehensive, engaging and professional.
Dawn broke over Gallipoli. 10,500 people stood shoulder to shoulder to remember the start of a battle which defined our nation. Prime Minister Tony Abbott told the service the soldiers whose bones lie in the cliffs above Anzac Cove fell so we could be free.
From battleground to cemetery, hikes to Lone Pine, official visits, news conferences and the dawn service itself, Natalie ensured that 2GB dominated radio coverage of this historic event.
Thank you so much. Thank you to the Kennedy Foundation and of course to Sean Flannery, the late Sean Flannery and his family. He would have loved this party tonight and he really set the standard for all of us to follow. This is really an important award to me. It was really a privilege personally and professionally to go to Gallipoli this year. And I think it's really important that we remember the stories of those men who fought 100 years ago and tell them to the next generations. And in the same way, it's important to really look after the welfare of our more recent vets. Thank you to NRMA, my news director. It's nice to be up here on stage with you. And also to my 2UE and 2GB colleagues. We have such a hard-working, dedicated newsroom, and it's also compassionate and caring and really fun to work there. And I'm really proud to be part of the MRN News team. Thanks, guys. The finalists for the most outstanding radio current affairs is for Sharon Davis, Freelance, Sarah Dingle, ABC, and Mandy Sammy, ABC Radio National. And the winner is Sharon Davis.
Sharon Davis spent 2 years following the stories of long-term drug addicts and efforts to keep them out of jail and turn their lives around.
What did you use?
Heroin. Dee stands before Judge Cloran in the Parramatta Drug Court, and at this moment her small frame looks even smaller than usual.
The 3-part series on the New South Wales Drug Court made for extraordinary listening on Radio National, highlighting the plight of those struggling with addiction and the unsung work of those trying to help them.
Wow,
this is great. I'd like to thank the judges and the Kennedy Awards for this. I'd like to thank the best sound engineer in the world, Stephen Tilley from the ABC. I'd also like to thank my partner, Jeff Parrish. But most of all, I'd like to thank the people who let me into their lives for 2 years while they struggled with their drug addiction, and the workers from the New South Wales Drug Court who put their heart and soul into helping people with that struggle. Thanks very much.